Hello and welcome to English with Tech Girl, the podcast dedicated to helping you improve your American English skills specifically for the world of technology, including but not limited to IT and computer science. Whether you're an industry professional, a student, or just someone looking to brush up on their language skills, well, look no further than English with Tech Girl, the podcast dedicated to American English for tech. I'm your host, Lydia, a college teacher / solopreneur, and on this podcast, I'll be exploring the ins and outs of the tech world and providing you with the language skills you need to succeed. Each episode, I'll cover a different topic related to technology, from coding to software development to artificial intelligence and cybersecurity. Along the way, I also teach you key vocabulary and phrases specific to the industry, as well as share tips and tricks for effective communication. So whether you're a tech enthusiast or a professional in the field, join me on English with Tech Girl to improve your American English and take your tech game to the next level. So without further ado, let's get started, shall we? Hi there, tech people! You're listening to the very first episode of English with Tech Girl podcast, probably the only podcast in the world dedicated to learning English while talking about technology. I was thinking a lot trying to decide which topic would be the most suitable for our first episode. As you know, there is so much to cover since the world of technology is a very vast subject and there are lots of potential career paths available as individuals from diverse backgrounds seek to find their footing in the field of IT. Nevertheless, they all share a common denominator. Everyone, including myself, must prepare a CV, commonly known as a resume. So before diving into your favorite job board, for instance, Rocket Job, Just Join IT, No Fluff Jobs, or any other, it is important to have a draft of your CV ready so that you can adjust it accordingly once you find your potential dream job. You know, you gotta start with something. The first draft of your resume. That is why in today's episode, we'll be discussing 10 useful verbs that you can utilize in your CV to make it stand out. These verbs will help you showcase your skills and accomplishments in a clear and concise way. You can find a complete list of these verbs with their Polish equivalents on my Instagram at English with Tech Girl, so don't forget to follow my account right away. Done? Great! Now, if you really want to wow your IT recruiters, stay tuned and let's get started. Our verb number 1 is to implement. So the first verb we will discuss today is to implement. This verb is used to describe the act of putting a plan into action. It is a great verb to use when describing how you have taken an idea and turned it into a reality. So let's check our example sentence that you can use in your tech resume. For instance, implemented new software development practices to improve team efficiency. Once again, implemented new software development practices to improve team efficiency. Number 2, to perform. The next verb for today is to perform. This verb can be used with reference to the act of carrying out a task or job. Make sure you use it when describing how you have successfully completed a project or task. Example sentence. Performed comprehensive testing of software applications to ensure high quality delivery. One more time. Performed comprehensive testing of software applications to ensure high quality delivery. I just realized that the sample sentence contains yet another interesting example of a verb to use in your tech resume, but we'll get to that in a moment. Number 3, to expand. The third verb in our list is to expand. We use it when talking about increasing something in size, scope, or complexity. Using this verb is an effective way to describe the growth of a project or team. For example, expanded the company's online presence by developing a new website and social media strategy. One more time. Expanded the company's online presence by developing a new website and social media strategy. Number 4, to conduct. The next verb we will discuss is to conduct. This verb pertains to the act of organizing and carrying out an activity or event. It is a good choice of a word when describing how you have led a team or project. For example, conducted research to identify new opportunities for business development. Once again, conducted research to identify new opportunities for business development. Speaking of developing, the next very important verb on our list is, of course, to develop. We use it when talking about creating something new or improving upon an existing idea, as developers. It is a great verb to use when describing how you have created new technology or software. Having said that, not only software developers can benefit from using this verb in their resume. For instance, a UX designer can develop a user-centered design strategy that prioritizes the needs and goals of the end users. Alright, so now let's take a look at our sample sentence using the verb to develop. Develop a new mobile application to streamline customer satisfaction. Developed a new mobile application to streamline customer communication. Number 6, to process. The next verb for today is to process, but you have to be quite careful with this one though, because the word process can function both as a noun and a verb. A process and to process. So how do we know which is which? Most likely by looking at the context in which it is used. Speaking of which, this verb can be utilized to describe the act of organizing or handling information or materials. It is a great verb to use when describing how you have managed data or workflow. Example sentence. Processed and analyzed large data sets to identify trends and opportunities. Once again, processed and analyzed large data sets to identify trends and opportunities. Number 7, to partner. Our verb number 7 is to partner, and similarly to process, the word partner can function both as a noun, a partner, and a verb, to partner, and is used when talking about collaborating with others. So let's say you have worked with others to achieve a goal, and you want to brag about it or boast about it, so use the word partner instead of collaborate to make your resume stand out. Let's take a look at our sample sentence. Partner with other departments to ensure the successful implementation of a new software system. Once again, partner with other departments to ensure the successful implementation of a new software system. Number 8, to curate. The next verb we will discuss is to curate. This verb is used to describe the act of selecting and organizing items or information. It is a particularly good choice when you want to say that you have managed content and created a user experience. Our sample sentence is, curated a collection of educational resources to improve employee training and development. One more time. Curated a collection of educational resources to improve employee training and development. Number 9, to ensure. So with this 9th verb, we're slowly approaching the end of our top 10 list. The verb I have in mind is to ensure, and it is oftentimes used to describe the act of making sure something is done correctly. It is a great verb to use when talking about how you have ensured quality or compliance. And what is compliance? It is the state of being in accordance with rules and guidelines. Let's check how to use the verb ensure in your tech resume. For example, ensured compliance with industry standards through thorough testing and analysis. Once again, ensured compliance with industry standards through thorough testing and analysis. Oh yeah, the word thorough is an interesting adjective which you can use to describe a task that is performed or written with great care and completeness. You can also use the word thorough to describe yourself. Of course, if paying attention to every single detail is your jam. Number 10, to execute. The final verb we will discuss today is to execute. This verb can be utilized when talking about carrying out a plan or task. So when you have successfully completed a project or task, this is the verb that will impress potential recruiters. Of course, we can link the verb to execute with such words as executive, like executive managers, or even execution, which does not necessarily indicate the act of killing anyone. To execute simply means to put a plan, order, or course of action into effect. Now it's time for our final sample sentence. Executed a successful product launch, resulting in a 50% increase in sales. Once again, executed a successful product launch, resulting in a 50% increase in sales. So that's it. Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. I hope that this verb will help you improve your resume and better showcase your skills and accomplishments. Oh yeah, and if you enjoy this content, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Your contribution will help me continue to produce high-quality episodes and bring you valuable insights on American English. Plus, there is an extensive list of perks coming from becoming a patron or a matron, including but not limited to joining our amazing community on Discord, having access to podcast transcripts, or even downloading exclusive workbooks with tasks that cover the vocabulary from each episode. Also, be sure to follow me on Instagram at English with Tech Girl to stay up to date on the latest episodes, connect with our community, and learn even more tech-related vocabulary. Thanks again for tuning in.